Huh? Yeah, no, I'm fine. I just remembered I have to work on the Blade video next.
Fuck! Yes! Finally!
This is one party I'm glad I didn't sleep through.
Oh, hi, Blade! I'm technically undead, but I'm not a vampire. Please don't kill me.
I usually only hunt vamps.
Oh, thank God. Ah. That intro was written when Blade first released. Just shows you how long it takes me to make these. Blade, the British, yes, British, was born in London, England, half vampire hunter. The Daywalker, he who glides through oceans of blood. No, wait, wrong guy. Dracula's #1 op. Until he started to work for him. Look, Blade's been around since the 70s. Weird plot lines are bound to happen. As usual, we'll be making Blade for Marvel Rivals. I know he has a lot of media out there, but there's too much for us to consume in any reasonable amount of time. We will only addressing those other forms of media outside of Marvel Rivals for additional ideas of where to take the build. As always, these are villains and heroes, larger than life. We'll be playing with the free dedication variant rule, and we won't be worrying about story prerequisites. We do have a bit of a problem though, and we will address that in a moment. What is our goal for Blade? Well, we want someone that can swap between dual-wielding blades to pistol and sword. We need a way to reduce healing others get, preferably with our gun, reduce healing to ourselves we can turn on and off, and a line attack for our ult. What about vampire slaying? Well, while there are a literal dozen ways to make a vampire hunter in Pathfinder 2e, in Rivals, Blade doesn't have any specific anti-vampire abilities. So we won't be building him as one, even though it almost feels blasphemous to do so. And here's where that problem comes up.
Somebody's always trying to ice skate uphill.
We have multiple ways to build him, as we do with every character. The two I settled on are not perfect for one mechanical reason, and the other table reason. The main difficulty comes from his anti-heal ability. Aside from countering a spell, there are only two ways I know of to stop or reduce healing. The spell Reaper's Lantern, and the feat Red Gold Mortality. Those that know that feat already see the problem. It's an exemplar feat.
Actually, wasn't Angela an exemplar? So what's the problem?
For once you're right.
Wait, I am?
Yes, Angela was an exemplar. Thor most likely will be as well, and I'm tempted to make Hela one alongside them. The exemplar class is the only rare class in game, meaning a DM is within their full rights to not allow it. Flavor-wise, it's a lot, and sets precedent for the type of story one is playing. And the class is strong. Not broken, but strong. I feel the class is mechanically entirely reasonable, so while making builds I see no reason not to allow it. Your DM might not, but I can't plan for everything a DM might not allow. That being said, Blade would not be an exemplar. Most builds put him as a ranger. To get an exemplar feat, he would need to take the exemplar dedication. The most broken dedication for martial classes in the entire game, hands down. I don't think anyone disputes that. I don't think it's unreasonable to have a DM ban it from the table outright, but it makes the build much more cohesive and mechanically similar to Rivals. On the other side of the equation is Reaper's Lantern. To get this, we need a spellcasting dedication, which leads it into another problem we have. The only effect that reduces self-heal aside from the previous is the Oracle of Life, which we could take to get Reaper's Lantern, but Oracle of Life reduces the amount we heal by our level. At level 12, the average we would heal every turn would be 11, which is less than 12. We wouldn't have any self-healing, defeating the whole purpose. We could take a different Oracle dedication to still get Lantern, but if we're already losing one of our seeded goals, then I want the rest of the build to be as close as possible, so I've decided to go with the Exemplar dedication. If your DM forbids it, and it's entirely reasonable that they will, replace all Exemplar feats with the Oracle feats. It won't be exact, but it will do in a pinch, and is close, but not perfect. Onto the actual build, starting as usual with the ABCs, Ancestry, Background, and Class. Ancestry, quite easy actually. Human.
Vamps gave me my powers.
Right, so let's grab the versatile heritage Damp here, making us half vampire.
I've always walked the line between the living and undead.
And we'll grab the vampire lore feat, so we are at least knowledgeable about vampires, and it'll get better automatically as we get the additional lore feat for free. We'll boost strength and charisma. For our background, we could have gone with Cursed, but I think Hunted by the Night would be far more fitting. We get stealth and the vampire lore skill, but we already have that. More importantly, we get dubious knowledge. When we fail a knowledge check, we get 2 pieces of information, one is correct and the other is wrong, and we don't know which is which. We also get a free religious symbol and a bottle of holy water. We'll boost strength and dexterity. And for class, as we stated before, we'll be going Ranger. And it's been a while, so let me remind everyone coming over from D&D 5e that Pathfinder 2e, here on called 2Finder, Ranger is actually good, like really good actually. To show you, we'll grab the Flurry subclass, reducing our multiple attack penalties by 1 every attack, or 2 if the attack has the Agile trait. We'll boost strength. And our level 1 feat will be Twin Takedown, letting us strike twice when dual wielding and combining damage for the purpose of damage reduction. And to wrap up our boosts, we'll boost Strength, Dex, Con, and Int. Oh, and make sure you're trained in Religion, Occultism, and Stealth. Oh, normally I wouldn't talk about exact weaponry unless it was pivotal to the build. Blade's base sword in Rivals is gifted to him from his mother from the afterlife while having a vision of the Black Panther afterlife. Aside from that though, the only thing about it is that it's made of silver. So, when you get the chance, make your blade out of silver. That's it. Oh, also, I am building him with a short sword. Understandably, if people don't want that, but it works for the build. At level 2, we take the Quick Draw from Ranger, letting us draw an attack with a weapon with the same action. And we will grab our first dedication, and as much as I went on about Exemplar, it's not the first thing we grab. First, we grab Gunslinger dedication, letting us use guns easier than before. We also get Way of the Drifter, the gunslinger subclass focusing on dual-wielding a gun and a melee weapon. I suggest the double-barrel pistol, and here's why we want occultism. We take the skill feat Schooled in Secrets, letting us notice the signs of mystery cults and secret societies like the Secret Worldwide Society of Vampires in Marvel. With level 3, we take the general feat Fleet, letting us move 5 feet faster, and we move on to level 4. This is where we grab the Exemplar dedication. This grants us an icon. Now, you might think we grabbed something for his sword, but not yet. First, we want to set up his anti-heal, so we grab the Unfailing Bow icon. Now, I know it says bow, but it can be any ranged weapon. So put it on his double-barrel pistol, or whatever gun you did take. This gives us a bonus damage. More importantly, it sets up our anti-heal at level 10. You can set it up sooner if you're willing to move around some feats, but for our purposes, it'll be at level 10. Our archetype feat will be the basic shooting, giving us a level 1 or 2 gunslinger feat, which will be sword and pistol, giving us bonuses or removing penalties for striking with melee and ranged weapons in the same turn. Considering how often we attack with both weapons in the same turn, it'll be very useful. Moving on to level 5. We get the Undead Slayer feat from the Dampier, letting us deal more damage versus undead, and even more if it's a vampire.
The stakes just got raised.
For our boost, we get a partial in strength, boost in dex, con, and charisma. Man, we are going through these quick, huh? Level 6, we take Slinger's Readiness, giving us Into the Fray, letting us draw our weapon for free at the start of combat, and letting us stride for free as part of our first action. This also buys us out of Gunslinger, so we can take another dedication, which will be the Night Reclaimant's dedication. Night Reclaimants swear the Crimson Oath, a vow to slay the Whispering Tyrant and his undead hordes. Very fitting, even more so when one knows that many undead are amongst their ranks. This grants us experts in stealth and survival, and when we succeed versus undead special ability, we can get a crit instead. This excludes any innate spells. We also grab the Recognize Spell skill feat, letting us know what spell an enemy casts, and if we crit, we get a +1 to the save if there is one. At level 7, we get a general feat. We'll take Blood Sense, letting us sense creatures with blood within 15 feet, We won't know the exact details, but we'll know what square they're in. I find level 7 and 11 to be the least amount of impactful choices, but we always get a class feature, so it balances out. For Ranger, we get bonus damage, and our reflex saves and perception go up. With level 8, we take the Ranger feat Skirmish Strike, letting us step and then strike, or strike and then step. Our archetype feat will be Invoke the Crimson Oath, giving us a focus spell of the same name. It lets us cast a 20-foot cone. It's a fortitude save, dealing our weapon damage to everyone. That's roughly 2d6 plus 6, plus any runes you have. However, there's an item that becomes very necessary for the build. We need the Crimson Brand, a +1 striking wounding bastard sword, decorated with crimson lacquer, making the damage now 2d8 plus 6 plus 1d6 bleed. But while using the Crimson Brand to cast Invoke the Crimson Oath, we can make it a 30-foot cone, or more importantly, a 60-foot line.
1,000 gods!
And there's our ult. Probably the easiest ult we've made this entire series. Our skill feat will be Unmistakable Lore, meaning if we crit fail on a lore check, vampires, we get a fail instead. And if we crit succeed, we get even more information. He's not a vampire hunter in this build, but I'm still trying my hardest. Our boosts for level 10 are Strength for damage, Dex for AC, Wisdom for perception, and Charisma for spell DCs. We trade our Ranger feat for Basic Glory, letting us get a level 1 or 2 Exemplar feat, which will be Red Gold Mortality. Anyone we strike needs to make a save or reduce or even completely ignore the next time they would be healed. We'll go ahead and put it on our gun. Hey, quick editor's note here. In the middle of me writing this, they did an update that swapped which weapon did the anti-heal on blade. I'm still going with gun because that's what the build is, but you can easily just put it on a sword. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. We'll also gain some self-heal by taking the Night Reclaimant feat, Shall Not Falter, Shall Not Rout, giving us a focus spell that lets us heal for double the spell's rank the first time we successfully strike each turn for a minute. The skill feat we take will be Crichton's Cognitive Crossover. Say that 3 times fast. When we take this feat, we must choose 2 skills from Arcana, Crafting, Lore, Vampire obviously, Medicine, Nature, Occultism, Religion, or Society. When we fail to learn anything from one that we picked, we can re-roll using the other one. Obviously, we should pick Lore Vampire, and the other one can be whatever you want based on the campaign you're playing. At level 11, we get another general feat. We'll grab Die Hard, meaning we don't die as quickly as others.
Takes a lot more than that to put me down.
We also get a boost to our Fortitude, and we move on. With a level 12, we take Second Icon from Exemplar Dedication, and we'll take Burrow's Edge, giving us slightly more damage, and for an action, we can heal ourselves for half the damage that we dealt with our last strike. We can put this on our short sword or our Crimson Brand, it doesn't matter. Put it on the one you like using the most. I put in the Crimson Brand to synergize with Invoke the Crimson Oath. And our archetype feat will be Practice Reload from Gunslinger Dedication, giving us the reload from Way of the Drifter. With Reloading Strike, we make a strike and then reload for 1 action. Simple, but very effective. Our skill feat will be Kippa, letting us stand from prone for free. Sometimes the simple options are the best. Level 13, we get an Ancestry feat, and I think we have to take Daywalker, because
Your foes call you Daywalker, do they not?
Yeah, I'm only part vampire, which means I can step into the sun and survive.
while in direct natural sunlight, we lose Void Healing and gain Vitality Healing, leaning us away from undead and more into a living entity. On to level 14, we swap out our Ranger feat for a new dedication, Sanguimancer. We gain a second pool of temporary hit points that we can spend to use abilities from the dedication later on. Or now, as we use our archetype feat to gain Blood Shield, letting us spend temporary HP to give us AC and damage reduction, making a great simulacrum of his Scarlet Shroud. And our skill feat is Quick Recognition, letting us roll to recognize a skill once per turn for free. Our boosts at level 15 will be partial boosts into Strength, and our final boost into Con, Int for more skills, and Wisdom for better perception/initiative. Our general feat will be Numb to Death, letting us regain additional hit points when we are dying. And we move on to level 16. We will now take the Ranger feat Distracting Shot, meaning if we crit with a ranged weapon, or shot twice with a ranged weapon, the target becomes off guard until the start of our next turn. And we take Exemplar Expertise, increasing the DC of our anti-heal. And our skill feat will be Streetwise, letting us use Society instead of Diplomacy to gather information in the streets. With level 17, we gain an Ancestry feat, and we take Bounce Back, meaning we don't increase our wounded condition the first time each day. And on to level 18, we take Drifter's Juke from Gunslinger, letting us step, and strike again. One strike must be ranged and the other melee. And we take Reactive Strike from Exemplar, letting us have an attack of opportunity. And we take Eyes of the City as our skill feat, letting us use Society or Diplomacy to track people in cities. At level 19, we take the general feat Incredible Initiative, giving us a +2 to our initiative, and more capstone. Level 20, boosts will be rounding off strength, boosting int, wisdom, and charisma. We'll take Lightning Swap from Exemplar, letting us store and draw weapons with a single action, and Crimson Oath Devotion, increasing the DCs of our religion spells. I know the capstone isn't crazy exciting, but it's quite powerful, all things considered. And that's it. Blade juggles his weapons in action economy like a madman, shifting between pure melee to blade and bang so often it might make your head spin. Or at least his. Now, get out there and remind your opponents that you
Still got an edge.